Hello and welcome back to my studio. Today I'm going to be painting a horse portrait on a 12 by 12 inch canvas panel in acrylics. This is going to be a simplified sort of style of painting. So if you're a beginner in acrylics, this is probably one of the simplest ways and easiest ways to paint with acrylics. So I hope you enjoy it and let's get painting. So once the drawing is put onto the canvas, I then give it a little spray of water and give it a coat of acrylic gloss medium. It can be gel or whatever, matte, it doesn't matter as long as it's an acrylic medium. Then I put in some raw umber in that wet medium, and this will give it a nice imprimatur to paint onto. Once that's completely dry, I can then go in with my smaller little nylon flat brush and put in these little dark areas, the areas of importance and areas that I don't want to lose when I start painting over the top, because I will paint over the top of a lot of this with the larger brushes, and certain areas may very well get lost. So I just need to put these little areas in so I know the shape of the overall portrait, the overall shape of the horse, where its ears are, where the fringe is, where the mane is, the back of the horse, the neck, the little areas of light on its face and muzzle, and around its nostrils and mouth, and that area there in front of the muzzle needs to be quite dark. So just with this little flat brush here I'm doing this. Now once I've put in some of these little areas, I will change over to a larger brush to put in some of the really basic shapes and tones. So it's a very simplistic painting this, so it's going to be very simplistic brushwork. So now with my 1-inch brush, a flat bristle brush, I can mix a little nice warmer colour with some cadmium orange and yellow ochre and white to create this little warm area, and I can make this lighter and put variations in there because I want this light behind the horse to really make that horse stand out and really show up against that light background, because it's going to be a black horse. So I'm making this really quite a contrasty background, but still with a bit of added interest because it's going to be relatively abstract. By putting these big, large, bold brushstrokes in there, like that, and I'll get a little bit more colour down the bottom end here, in this bottom corner. Put some little bit of raw umber into that mix there, just to give it a little bit of a earthy tone here and there. I'm not really trying to blend at all with it now. I'll get some very, very light tones with a little bit of Payne's grey to give a very nice light grey blue colour. Now I'm painting quickly, which is how you should paint with acrylics in this sort of stage. Put those big bright white lights in, and then when that's done I'll give it a little spray of water, and then with my silicone painting tool I'll start to move that paint around, because it's all still wet, because I'm painting quickly. It's still all nice and wet. I can move that paint around. Now this silicone painting tool is a wonderful thing to use, and you'll find a link in my description below of where to purchase it and how to purchase it. And trust me, it's a wonderful tool to use, and by purchasing from those links you'll be supporting me and my channel and helping me to bring you these videos, so thank you. Anyway, back to the painting. Still just using this one large brush. It's amazing what you can do with a large brush. I suggest you try it and see just how far you can go just with a large brush, but don't be tempted to go to smaller ones. And I think you'll be surprised as to what you can do once you get to learn how to use it. Don't be frightened by the fact that it's a large brush. Embrace it and be bold with your brushstrokes. A little bit lighter now will give me that nice bluey grey colour that you get from Payne's grey and white. And this will give me the lighter areas. Now these are just basic shapes I'm putting in at the moment, but they will adapt as I paint over them in different layers, because it's about painting in layers, this style of painting. In fact, all styles of acrylic painting should be done really in layers, building it up a little bit at a time. I mean, it shouldn't be the law. You can make your own ideas up of how to paint with acrylics, but it's just the easiest way. Painting with layers and allowing that layer to dry, and then painting over the top. And it creates details upon details upon details, which just tend to build up the entire thing. I'll now dry that entire painting off with the hairdryer. A little quick spray of water, and then I can start on the next layer. So you can see how it covers up so much better now. It's looking a little bit more solid, but being only the second layer, you can still see some of those little brush marks and details underneath that layer that I'm putting on. So it still creates and holds that little bit of detail or interest in those dark areas, rather than just being a totally flat colour. It's got little areas of interest within it. So try and keep that, when you're doing this, try not to go too flat with the colour. And now I'm using the same brush now to put in some of these grey marks once again, and I can put darker greys and lighter greys and warmer greys and cooler greys just with this one brush. It does help to know the anatomy of an animal when you're doing this kind of thing. It gives you an idea of the structure of the animal, and then how light will fall upon it. Little bit of alizarin crimson now into that Payne's grey and white will make it slightly more purpley, a bit more warmer. So you can see how that's a little bit more warmer than the bluey grey. And those can be put in where necessary. There's a little muscle in the neck there that comes down. This is where you should know your anatomy. Now I can go very, very bright with this nylon flat brush to put in some of these little highlights. Now, nylon brushes, especially the flat ones like this, are very good for making specific kinds of marks, brush strokes. You can be very bold with them and broad like that. But again, you can also do graduation with them and detail, a certain amount of detail. Because they come to a straight edge, you can do fine lines with them. And use the corner to do tiny little details. See, you can do all sorts of things just with one brush. I'll just put in a few more of these little areas that are going to be the fringe and the mane. Just basic shapes at the moment, but building those basic shapes up in layers. Letting one layer dry before I go to the next. Tiny little bits of yellow ochre into that white will just warm it up a little bit. You shouldn't really use pure white until the very, very end, when you're adding a couple of tiny little touches and speckles of light. Try and warm it up with a bit of yellow ochre or cadmium orange or cadmium yellow deep. Just a tiny, tiny bit of it is all that's required. And it just takes away that white, bright white, stark chalkiness that titanium white can be. So I'm just lightening now some of these areas behind the horse, because I really want this to stand out against this background. And I can be really quite abstract with some of these paintbrush marks. And adding a little bit more of that background colour into that mix, just to blend here and there. into the background colour that's already there. I can also re-establish the mouth area and the chin around here, like that, and then spray again with water, and then I can use the silicon tool once again to move that paint around, blend it and blur it, and even paint with it, pick up paint like that, and then just paint on with it onto the canvas, directly onto the canvas. You can do all sorts of things with this tool. It's very, very useful. It's flexible, it's not hard, it's like rubber, but it's silicon. It's bendy. A little light there on that top eyelid, and the lower eyelid will then just give a little bit of definition to the eyes. This is where you need a small brush, and it's really the only place, perhaps around the mouth as well, just to bring out the shape, which is quite an important area in a horse, that little area there around the corner of the mouth, and also the highlight on the nostril, just there like that. I can go even lighter on that little bit of eyelid there. Now I can warm up this light colour, a little bit similar to the background colour there, and just add one or two of those little areas into the horse itself. And this gives a harmony to the background and the horse. It's not just one colour against another. It blends almost naturally then with the background. A few more little orangey colours up here, little warmer areas. And I can put in some little fine lines. Again, I'm not using a large brush, a small brush at all. It's quite a large brush. And it puts in those little impressions of hair. I'm not trying to paint every single hair of that mane and fringe. I'm just creating the impression of it. So a few more lights now on the areas of the horse where the light is going to be hitting the most. And again, I can go over with some darker colour over those areas later on. Just bring out a few more of those little shapes there, like that on the neck. There's a little highlight there on that little muscle. And then very subtle, putting in some quite dark greys into that cheek area. And I can go dark again for that front of the muzzle there, which is quite dark, and using the lightness of touch now, so the harder I press, the darker that paint will go on, and the lighter I use it, the more I can make it look like it's blending into the rest of the paint, though the other paint beneath, by producing almost like a wash as I lightly go over the top. Okay, a few more little strokes in there, getting quite bold with some of them as well, some of those brush strokes. Once you've mastered the art of bold strokes with brushes, it really shows up in your paintings, and people will automatically fall in love with it, with the actual brush stroke. It's lovely to paint like that, and people do appreciate it when they see it. Okay, I just put a little bit of colour into that eye there, and a little highlight, and that brings that eye to life. And a few little bright areas again. I'm going to go over this background once again, because it will sink in as it dries, until eventually, after 3 or 4 applications or layers, it will stay bright, which is what I want. And also want to get quite abstract with 1 or 2 of these little paintbrush marks as well. So I'm being very careful about where I apply those little brush strokes now. Going a little bit more yellowy again, just to warm up Now you can see I'm just putting one or two little marks in that are quite abstract now over the top. A little bit of raw umber into that will create that background tone once again, which I can add into the horse once more. And then with that flat brush I can do a suggestion or the impression of that fringe and hair once again. Again, it's adding those layers upon layers. Okay, a few little lights on those now. Very subtle, just here and there. Little. I've gone to a slightly smaller brush, a flat brush. Just one or two little paintbrush marks like that, in a very stylized fashion. And I can put one or two in that background again, just here and there, just to create an abstract shape, but perfectly placed, if you know what I mean. You have to really think about where you're placing those marks. Don't do them haphazardly. Back to the Payne's Grey, and I can, again with a lightness of touch, I can go over some of this without going into the actual very, very dark, and it just takes it down slightly, just by the lightness of the touch as you use the brush. Like that. Now, there's a light edge on the edge of the horse there, which I just suggest, that's all. I'm not going to paint it photographically. I'm just suggesting these things. There's some little bits of detail I can put in with a smaller brush. Only one or two little marks, that's all. And then I can start doing some little details with this little brush around the nostril and here and there. And once they're done, well, that's the painting finished. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video and hopefully found it rewarding and entertaining. Let me know if you have any comments or questions that I may be able to help you with. And I look forward to you joining me on my next painting video. So until then, have a lovely day and happy painting!